grandmother made for me. I was at Uncle George's house. I got to ride a gator, and I was in her like little mini house. She showed me some dolls that were like this one, and she asked me if I wanted her to make one, and I said yes. Here's all of these things. Any questions? Go. Why doesn't the doll have a face? Because my grandmother, they didn't have markers, so she didn't draw a face. Any more? Here. Is she a program or just a doll? Just a doll. She's not a program. A pebble doll? No, she's just a doll. She looks like a doll. She's a doll. Look. Pretty much here. Why do they have markers? I don't know. Because they didn't have the plastic and the ink, so they couldn't make markers. That's good, we're done.
We're going to take a few more questions since we have your guests here. And I bet you might want to ask a couple of questions either to Audrey or to her great-grandmother. So if you can think of something that you'd like to ask, or maybe even tell her, now is the time that we can do that. Is there anyone? Abe?
Why didn't you do it when you got, why didn't you do the face when you got home? Because, I wanted to keep it like it was. Nice. How? I don't know.
It's okay, she can answer. They wanted to know how old you were, Louise.
How old I am? I'll be 89 my next birthday, which is next May.
89. But before she's 80, my grandma was 99. Does your great-grandmother have markers now? I don't know.
Maybe you can ask her.
She does.
Have a what?
Do you have markers now?
Markers like to write faces on stuff.
Yeah, but I don't. That is simply supposed to be a no-face doll made by the Amish. And so I'm not that smart in doing a correct thing on doing their eyes and nose and lips. So I left it plain and she can color it.
I have a question. When you were in first grade, what was the name of your school and where was it?
Miller.
Miller School? Was it around here?
It's supposed to be in the area of out of Grapevine, which I think is in the middle of Grapevine Lake.
So your school now, where it was, is actually in the middle of where the lake is now?
But,
Can you guys imagine Bransford being in a lake in like 60 years? We'd all be wet. Yeah.
That would have been back in 1928 when I was in that school.
Wow. Can you tell us just a little bit about how you put the doll together and you made the doll?
I made the doll because I had bought several years ago. I bought a package and it had the pattern and all that stuff with it. And you could actually take your grandmother's made pillowcases years ago. They did a lot of embroidery across here. You take that, and actually that's what it was called, pillowcase doll. You take that pillowcase and cut out 18 inches, lay this down here on the bottom. And then you cut the top part out of the top part of the pillowcase and made the doll. I made the dress, rather. And then you made the little bonnet. But it had the pattern so you could make your own if you did not have an old pillowcase that someone did. So that's what I did for Audrey. She wanted certain colors, and I found a pattern that I could carry out her colors that she wanted, and the lace and the ribbon and stuff.
I have a question. Where did you get the package?
The package, it was at that particular time. It would have been like Moses, Mott's rather store,
Like
and
a Walmart or a Target or a local store.
But nowadays you can't find them.
I have a question. James, Mom, where's her arms and legs?
They're there.
Some right here, and then her arms are right here.
I can make,
Why?
actually, I can
What are those?
stitch some of their
This is
pattern,
ribbon
like
that she sewed on the
little
bottom.
toes and hands.
Brooke, that's what most people. She could stitch some eyes and a mouse on there. I don't think that's what to do. I like it just the way she is.
Do you guys know why what great grandma was talking about were some people that have some beliefs about faces? They're called Amish people, and they're from up north, and they think it's not right to put a face on anything that's not a person. So their dolls don't have faces. You just imagine that it's a face, and they just think that's the right thing to do. So that's why it doesn't have a face. But if you guys want to put faces on your dolls, it's perfectly okay.
I have a question for you.
Oh, I'm not on show and tell, James. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Any more?
Well, I've enjoyed
You
doing
wanna ask
these
me more?
because I've been
Oh,
doing
yeah.
it since night.
Since the 90s? So a long
In the
year.
90s, I did that. I did a lot of the scrap stuff.
So
A friend of mine in
she got red, she got this dress, and then she sewed it on.
Sit
She
down.
made the pattern and she sewed it. Any more?
Okay, we have time for one or two more questions, so let's go with Natalie and then Maddie.
Natalie? Do you like it a lot? How come your grandma did not sew big face? Because they did not have markers, and the only people, I don't think they had sewing machines, and I don't think they had thread, so I don't think they could.
And it was really a tradition to make the dolls that way, Maddie. It was really a tradition, and that's the way they always made them. Now, people make other kinds of dolls with faces, but this particular type of doll, they didn't put a face on. All right, can we thank Grandma for joining us today? And it was the perfect time for you to visit because this week has been...
And I'm glad. I'm just so thankful that
Say thank you, great grandma.
that was kind of a different thing. I was
Go ahead.
supposed to be on my way to California today.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, good. It's Audrey's special week. She's the student of the week, so she's been a leader all week in class, and this is just a really nice surprise for her to have you here.
Good girl, anyway.
Audrey, would you like to walk them to the front of the school to say goodbye?
We're going to surprise Grant.
Oh, you're going to go
Mhm.
another